Welcome back to the Jesse Rucinski show. It worked on the first try. Just had to sit here and waste 20 minutes of my life. But today, we're going to get into the major, the elections and stuff on the ballot actually today as we speak. But first, I just want to get to something that's just stupid and hurts my head. There's a lot of things that do that, especially coming out of NASCAR, because apparently they just love to shoot themselves in the foot. Anyone that saw the race, or I'm sure you've heard about everything since then. Like Denny Hamlin's dropping F-bombs on national TV, and I haven't heard a word come out about that, which last time I checked could really, really offend a lot of people. I try not to drop F-bombs because I know I could piss off some of y'all with like kids and stuff, so I try not to. That was okay. They didn't say anything. But Kyle Busch, after what happened, literally, his quote, "It's freaking retarded, man. So stupid." And he now has to go to sensitivity training before the start of next season over saying that because it's so offensive and a bad word. Now, I'm not trying to say, like, if you're calling someone retarded, yes, times have changed. It's not like back in the 70s and 80s when, they were mentally retarded. It's what they were called. I'm not saying they are. It's not, so it is a different time, but literally as he used it, which as an, adjective, as an adjective means very foolish or stupid. And what happened apparently, fit into that realms as his next words were so stupid, but somehow he has to go to sensitivity training for that. And, Denny's perfectly fine for dropping F-bombs on national TV. I drop F-bombs on some streaming platforms and they get mad at me. No, it's because it's Kyle. We can't go after Denny but for the love of God, hold it to the same standard. That's what irritates people to no ends of what is killing the sport. Kind of like when Bubba won. Whatever. He won on a rain-shortened race. People have done it before. But the fact that they went out of their way to make all kinds of documentaries about it, when other people like one that were, even more hyped up and had a bigger thing behind them, like, Logano won in a rain-shortened race. He didn't get any documentaries. He didn't get traded anything. And they shot themselves in the foot with all that thing last year, and it was just a big headache. But yeah, going after Kyle for actually using the word retarded in an non-offensive way because he was talking about a stupid or foolish action and not actually talking about another individual, at least to me, somebody's got their priorities all backwards and should probably pull their head out. Do themselves a favor. Because by definition, the way he used it wasn't thrown at anybody. It was the action, which is, I thought you could still call them, actions that. I'm completely on board with calling people retarded being wrong. And yeah, times have moved on. Yeah, do I agree with all the stuff? No, but is that an easy one? Yeah, offend someone? Sure. Like that's a little thing. There's other words you could use. But calling an action one using the word properly, now he has to go to sensitivity training for calling an action and not an actual person. That just hurts my brain. But I had to get that out because I've seen way too many stories about it. But now again, onto the ballot. Big things on the ballots today across the country. We have the gubernatorial races in the states of Virginia and New Jersey happening right now, along with the defunding the police or getting rid of the police or reimagining the police, however the hell you want to call it, to completely get rid of them and change it into something else, are all on the ballot today. And, there's a lot of stuff that goes into a lot of it. I'm just going to cover like what the people are saying is the main issues. On the ballot, the top of the line, like this is the big ticket thing. I'm going to go over those and some of the stuff behind it. But it is a really big day. For all those things, those are all kind of, governors are important. Police, in my opinion, very important. People making decisions on this stuff, it's a big thing. First, we're going to start over in Virginia, the gubernatorial race there between Terry McAuliffe, who's a Democrat, and Republican Glenn Youngkin, which the big ticket there, obviously, if you, I don't know, even if you don't pay attention to politics, it's pretty hard to not notice the complete like head explosions that, like education has jumped way up the pecking order just in the last couple of weeks is an important issue in the state of Virginia. Granted, I mean, you've seen the videos, everyone's seen the videos. I mean, depending on what you're watching, I'm sure you've seen the videos, but enough people have seen them circulated that, you can't miss some of it. The big one, and I think education should be a big thing. I think, everything they're doing, whether it's CRT in there, the sexually explicit stuff that we have heard, parents read straight from books at these, meetings in that state in Loudoun County, where there were people behind, like this, members of the board were behind their desk hitting their gavel saying that what she was reading was offensive, not a line, even though it was in a book that was available to the kids, given to the kids. Like, so if it's offensive for her to read it there, how is it not offensive to have like 11-year-olds reading it? Yeah, you can't have it both ways, but like literally, like, I don't know how it's offensive for them to read it out loud as a parent, but it's okay to have it available to 11 and 12-year-old kids or even high schoolers. Like, it's just, I'm a fond believer in you can't have it both ways. And it really just shows the ridiculousness of it because they can't say it there, but the kids can read it no problem. They think that's okay. It's a big double whammy. There's a lot of idiocy in there. Personally, I'm not on McAuliffe's side because he has said out loud that, children, and, that their parents should not have a say in their education, which, well, they are their kids. And think if they all dipped out or did anything like that and then, went homeschooling or went to any other kind of schooling you can do and the numbers reduced, like, there's that many, but parents should have a say. Sorry. Parents should be able to, have a say in it. And he's also been on record saying the CRT wasn't in schools, but the State Department of Education in Virginia has found that it is. Again, the sexually explicit stuff that I covered in the state there in that county, that's just that one place. I mean, I imagine it's all over the place where they're doing this stuff. And I've covered it before and we've all seen it before. Like it's offensive to say it out loud at a school board meeting, but it's okay for kids to read it. Like, I'm sorry, that's the most asinine thing. One of the most asinine things I've heard. And a little bit, I really don't know where they get off even thinking that or saying that parents shouldn't have a right to have any say in what their children get taught. Like, I'm sorry, CRT is bad, in my opinion. If you think it is, sorry. Ish. Kind of. You're lucky I have coffee. That will keep me sorry for now. Because, teach like critical race theory. Like the key thing is race. People apologizing for their white superiority and like all of that. Like making white people do that is a form of racism. You don't defeat racism with more racism, believe it or not. If you haven't figured that out in all these decades, that is not how you get rid of racism. That's how you actually make lot more. So, and I can't believe that he kept, saying stuff like that. And then the way the parents have been going after him, bringing in like the head of the teachers union in the state of Virginia. I don't think that was a good move on McAuliffe's part. I mean, he also brought in polarizing people. Like, I mean, he brought in Joe Biden, he brought in Kamala Harris, president and vice president, respectfully, because they still respect the office, which is more than most people could say last year. And bringing in, what's her name, out of Georgia? Like, I could see her face. You're all probably thinking it. A lady that kept saying that she got stolen because she was a black woman. Like, it'll come to me. But like, they brought all kinds of people up there to do it. I mean, I don't know if that was like the most intelligent of ideas when people are this turned up to just bring in a bunch of people that are on the same side, like pushing, like, really that big thing to piss a lot of people off, even worse than they already are, in my opinion. I don't think that, I don't think that's a good thing. But I can't be all against him because he has, he described, I'd say, nowhere near a Biden Democrat or the progressives or Bernie Sanders. No offense to Biden, like everything he's pushing through and passing, he can't say he's moderate anymore. So he's not like on that, and he has been talking about some of the bad things that Biden's agenda with all this spending and all this craziness, and overhaul things. Like he hasn't been running on that because he says he's not like a big fan of it, and a lot of his people aren't big fans of that, which is a good thing. But so he gets credit there, but him also like running and saying that if Youngkin wins, it's just going to be Donald Trump all over again. Like get over it. Like he's not in office. He can't get on any social media platform. And you see him interviewed every once in a while. Like you guys, like if that's all you have to run on, just like the idiot out in California, Gavin Newsom. Like, if he wins, it's just Trump in office all over again. Like they're different people. They actually do have different standings on things. And if that's all you have to run on just to get your base out there to go and vote against a guy, like I'm sorry for you and I'm sorry for the people that vote for you, because that's actually pretty disgusting when that's all you have. And really, that's all Joe ran on. He said, I'll tell you when we get elected. Like, like just ran on he wasn't Donald Trump. Just terrifying and mesmerizing all at the same time. So I do have to give him that. But he has been, not jumping on the bandwagon to go on with the Biden thing and his whole agenda. So I do give him that. Because it really is like nuts. It's crazy. And all the math they're doing is nuts. But anyway, Youngkin against CRT and says, and all the, sexually explicit stuff and all that, and says that on his first day, he would ban such materials from all schools. He's for school choice. He's for, say he wants to open like 20 charter schools, lower taxes, which made up. Look at everything right now. They haven't even been able to pass raising taxes for the country, and look at the prices now. What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm sorry. Look at everything leaving California, everything leaving New Jersey has the highest taxes in the country. I'll get to that later, but like, it's not good. Stop overspending. That's the big problem there. But again, the big issue here has suddenly skyrocketed has been education. So it's pretty much critical race theory and all this craziness, which he was governor like before. And all this really started getting put in there, and he doesn't think parents should have anything to do with it, against getting rid of CRT and all that stuff. Parents having a say in more charter schools, more options for people, really the yin and the yang. And I personally don't like critical race theory. I think it just creates more stupid, more hatred, more racism, more everything. At least everything bad that we don't want or need, create more problems. So we all know where I want to go with it, where I want it to go, where I think it should go for the betterment of everyone, where I think it really is. It's going to be close, but never know. I think he's going to pull it off. I see McAuliffe just kept shooting himself in the foot. And I don't understand how you can make that many missteps. And maybe really I just want someone to run on something besides, if the other guy wins, it's going to be Donald Trump. Like, sorry, come up with something like original or like any reason to vote against him instead of just continuously losing that nonsense. Using it hurts my head. But move on to the second one of the day. The New Jersey gubernatorial race between the incumbent, Phil Murphy, a Democrat, against Jack, I'm going to say Chattarelli. He's got that big New Jersey name. Obviously, Murphy's the incumbent Democrat. He's trying to become the first Democratic governor to win re-election in New Jersey in over 4 decades. So, pretty much just flip-flops all the time. Democrats get their way. They go, oh my God, this sucks. They get voted out. Then they go back. It's a revolving door if that has been. But big things they're talking about there was taxes and the handling of COVID. And right now, you have to give them that. New Jersey has the highest taxes in the whole entire country, which is saying something. With California and all the companies that are fleeing there, that someone could actually be worse. But New Jersey is there, and I've always heard the amount of taxes that my family members and that pay there, just egregious. It's terrifying, actually. like nuts level for the same thing I have now. Like it's scary. And the other big one was the handling of COVID while he was governor, where there was a whole nursing home thing because they had similar policy to Cuomo in New York and Whitmer out in Michigan. And the way they handled businesses, like the big ones thrive, and so many small businesses were damaged or had to close forever, were just continuously harassed over stupid stuff, no matter what they did. So I think that's actually going to be a really big one, especially just after the way it was last year. But you never know. It's New Jersey. I mean, really proves people how much they actually do love being miserable. It really does. No offense to the state, but there's a reason people love to talk, lots of garbage about New Jersey. Anyone that ever lived there talks trash about it. Like, it's dirty Jersey because it's gross and always under construction. But those deaths in nursing homes and that policy and the way small businesses were dealt and all of that on top of taxes are two very big issues to deal with. So, all Chad Riley has to do, and excuse me where I'm wrong, correct me, I guess. But, less restrictions and all that, and says he would cut taxes to everybody, which, again, would help people, businesses, attract employers to want to go there, not to where they're just hemorrhaging out cash and stuff. Again, I know how bad it is. Didn't spend a lot of years there, but still have family members that are there, some that just recently left in the last couple of years to get the hell out of there because it's a cesspool. We all know that. Anyone that knows anything knows that, at least. Like, no offense, New Jersey, but Murphy run for the first, trying to be the first Democrat governor to win re-election in over 4 decades. Yeah, like, good luck with that. And really, if people actually have any brains or anything, like, look at the way he handled COVID. That should sum it up. In taxes, when he actually got higher somehow, the highest in the country. Like, those should be those are the big ones. Like, there's not a snowflake's chance in hell he should win. You can only hope, but man, like, it's bad. Those taxes are nuts. So see how it all works out there. I believe those polls close either 7 or 8. I know Virginia closes at 7. Then moves us on to Minneapolis, which I believe is 8 o'clock our time here on the East Coast because they're behind. But so we'll figure out that hopefully by the end of the night. I'll probably figure it out in the morning at some point, depending on what I do tonight. But, this one is the one that really just mind boggles me. It's just the move to defund the Minneapolis Police Department. It's on the ballot today. Would replace it with a Department of Public Safety, which on the ballot is named Question 2. City Question 2 on the ballot. Would give the mayor and city council discretion to structure this new department how they want it. Gives them sole, authority over that to get more mental health workers to send them out to things like that. But what happens if it's a mental health thing where someone has a weapon and they come charging at people? You sitting there talking, I'm sorry, he's not going to stop them. People saying all kinds of bad things are going to happen, like you see reports. Well, I gave him the Narcan myself to bring them back to life when someone OD'd outside my house instead of calling someone with a gun. And like, saying stuff like that is what causes people to think something dumb's going to happen. Doesn't help, but really doesn't help is Ilhan Omar. We all know I love me some Ilhan Omar almost as much as AOC. She cries, better, I guess, is the thing. But Ilhan Omar, she blamed the cops. They have left. The ones that actually stuck around and are still employed, after they cut $8 million from their budget last year, which guarantee lots and lots of cops went by then. And she's actually blaming them. Like, Omar, here's some quotes from when she was, recently there talking about this. What we must also recognize is that the reduction in policing currently in our city and the lawlessness that is happening is due to 2 things. 1, the police have chosen to not fulfill their oath of office and to provide the public safety they are owed to the citizens they serve. The Minneapolis Police Department is the most dysfunctional police department in our state and probably in the country. Those are beautiful, beautiful words coming from, a dumpster fire as a human being. I must say it's amazing that, we must also recognize is that the reduction in policing currently in our city and the lawlessness that is happening is due to them not fulfilling their oath. Actually, it's the reduction in policing, which means there's less people to stop people from being, criminals and dumbasses, which is why violent, shootings, I think, are up 50% this year. Violent crime is up 17% just last year alone. Like when there's less police to stop all these things and gang units and all that, there's more idiocy. So you're going to blame them because you reduced their numbers by a catastrophic level. Took $8 million from all hell's breaking loose, even worse, because you did that, and you're blaming them. And you want to get rid of them. Like, I'm sorry if you're one of the people that listen to this nonsense and thinks it makes any sense and that she's right, or the AOC is the world, like, you really are stupid. I'm sorry. At least I just said you're stupid. Like, you are absolutely batty. How in the hell do you think that's even a good, so we've reduced them by $8 million. Again, I know you said it a million times. Just keep repeating yourself, Jesse. Again, violent crime was up 17% last year alone. They took all the money from them. They let the city burn. They got the politicians and people were attacking them alike. So people were attacking them like Molotov cocktails and bricks and stuff. Politicians are just running them up a creek, all that mass exodus because of it. They take $8 million from and this idiot and turns around and blames them because they reduced their numbers down, that it's their fault for not fulfilling their oath because there's not enough of them to protect such a big ass city. Like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen in New York City since they had to shutter so many fire stations and police stations, firehouses, like all that, because like mandates for vaccinations, like this is going to be like, God, please don't let them do it. Anyone with any shred of common sense knows exactly where this is going to go if they do it. Like, things are going to get worse. When you take all that money and all those officers off the street, things get worse. Well, that means we need to get rid of them even more. Like, no. Like, it doesn't even take common sense to figure this out. Like, if you actually fall behind any of this, you're dumb. Like, some stuff to help them better with, deal better with mental health things and stuff like that. Yes, but every place they've taken away, non-lethal, apparatuses to stop people and deter people, and police funding and the amount of, cops and everything are down. The more lawlessness and stupid it got, which means obviously it was working with them. Do they need help? Yes. Do they have more people to help with mental health things with them? Yes. But I mean, I'm sorry, mental health workers talking to people there when they have weapons going after people isn't going to stop anything. Sorry. Then protect the person going to do it. Then take anything to figure that one out. And my least favorite part of it all is when you see all the people that are in the most, like, in the worst areas that, keep saying, like, we need the same amount of police, if not here, if not more here, because of everything that's happening there. Like, it's gotten worse. And now they're possibly going to ruin all that. I don't understand how that is even a damn thing. But I mean, it goes in line with this next little thing that I'm going to close it up with. I mean, it's just everything. Like, all of that and stuff they're trying to do in Minneapolis, along with there's all the policies, leads into this when, coming from MSNBC, like someone actually on air, one of their guys saying it out loud from these NBC polls, that only 22% people that took the poll believe the country is going in the right direction, while 71% believe it's on the wrong track. 42% approve of Biden's job performance, 54% disapprove. And with those ones, the most telling part is that in August, 49% approved and 48% disapproved. So he's lost 7% approval and gained 6% disapproval. I think a little extra actually went towards, went down. It's not good. Like 7% down in approval, 6%. Like, it's just, and we can't, like, who's surprised? Like, and then they're trying to do this stuff, which is just going to further piss people off because everyone is now saying how bad it really, like, where crime is going up, across the board, whether you want to admit it or not, bad things are happening to good people because there's less people to stop it. And then, but again, it falls in line. Here we are, able to handle a crisis. 37% believe he can, while 47% says he can't. And like the scary thing is that it's an MSNBC host actually admitting this online and on air. I mean, and admitting that most of the people taking the poll were Democrats. Like, so it was their thing and they're getting those kind of numbers. So what do you think the actual numbers are? Like, this is abysmal. And somehow these people keep running on this same garbage, even though they see it going down the drain and them losing so many independents and even some Democrats along the board. Things like to fund the police, but they keep going for it. So, and taxes, like, we will figure out exactly what state of affairs we're actually going to be in. By the end of the day tomorrow, whenever I actually get those numbers out, but like, it's just mesmerizing that even with all that going on, people are like, I don't get how people are still on that schneid. How they're still there on that, because it's really, I mean, evident, clear as day. You can't miss it kind of stuff. And yet we're still here having the conversation and stuff like defunding the police is actually on the ballot in Minneapolis. And somehow people are still like on Ilhan Omar's side, which said, well, the reduction in the amount of police we have and the 8 million we took to them, well, let's blame the cops that, things have gotten worse, because it has nothing to do with the people that voted to take away the money and get rid of so many of the police officers. No, it's the cops' fault. Like, that is the most asinine, ass backwards thing I've probably heard in a very long time. And I don't know if you've been around a lot lately. That's actually really saying something, because there's a lot of asinine things going on being said in the world. So we'll find out, though. And I'll be paying attention via my phone. This is, week one of Hannah's new work schedule. So there is no her coming home at 8:00, if not later. So I'll actually be a functioning adult by the time any of these things close. So I don't know what I'll be doing. But again, we'll figure out a whole lot about the direction where people think it's going just with these, 2 governors races and that, which I can't even fathom is on there, that they kept it on the ballot. But what the hell do I know? So I appreciate the listen and the watch, no matter what you're on, whatever platform you're on. If you're watching the video and you'd rather have audio, you're listening to it. I mean, it's everywhere now. Videos, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, link goes together. Audio's on Anchor, Breaker, Sketcher, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So I can keep track of all of it there. You could, send voice messages, all kinds of stuff there. Apparently, tell me what you think. And I'm also on iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. Can't keep track of the listenership there, but still appreciated. So yeah, thanks for listening. I just, again, keep track of it. There's some craziness going on there. I just can't believe some of the craziness that's going on, but we're going to find out a lot from, before the midterms next year with how these go. So at least 2, all of them really, the 2 governor races and that idiocy in Minneapolis. So we'll find out. We'll talk about it one of these days. So thanks for the watch and listen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be good to each other. Don't forget to share it out and tell me what you think, because that helps immensely for me. And until next time, my friends, enjoy yourself, be good to each other, and peace.